Good day to you, my friends. I'm Kenator, and today I have a confession. I am addicted to the Outpost alpha. I'm already over 100 hours in and I just can't stop. So stick around and let me tell you about it. I've been lucky enough to be involved with the short alpha for Outpost. It's a tower defense first-person shooter RTS hybrid. Ever wanted to feel like defending Zion from the machines in the Matrix? Guns blaring 5,000 rounds a minute into an unstoppable tide of enemies? Well, welcome to Outpost. In Outpost you take on missions called Harvests, where you explore the map, find resources and equipment in this devastated post-apocalyptic world. And when you're done bringing these resources back to your base, it's time to extract them. Here you will face a mini wave of constantly spawning enemies, manage to hold them off through the countdown timer, and you can proceed to the next level. In easier modes these are predefined, and harder ones you will get to pick which level you go to. All of these lead up to a final harvest day for that mission, to bring everything back to HQ. This level sees you defending what you've collected with a minimal exploring, where the more you bring back from the previous levels, the longer you'll have to hold out, and in the worst case that's up to 800 seconds of defense, with constantly making new ammo and keeping your turrets loaded, to spawning in spider tanks to help your defense, and even piloting mechs. Yep, this game has pilotable mechs too. Did I mention the top tier mech can also fly? Yeah, this game is a blast. But what makes this final level of a harvest run the most different is the boss spawns. Everything from spider monsters to a 4-story rock giant that likes to smash huge portions of your base down at once, to yes, a very ominous swarm of creatures that does indeed invoke the Matrix. The final mission also lets you call in help from others in up to 4-player co-op, which can make things just a bit easier on the defense, but a little less to go round from the boss loot drops. But sometimes if you just have to get that loot home because you've collected just a little too much or got greedy, then it's a must. During play you can also switch to command mode at any point, to command your base to turn guns on and off, as well as spawn mechs or spider tanks, as well as produce ammo. In this mode you can also set down deployables like extra resource or power generation devices, or defensive bunkers or Tesla coils. In a multiplayer game you can easily leave one player in the base to manage it through its RTS style interface, with only a minor amount of time being spent in first person, so this game can have something for everyone. But when all is said and done and you get your loot home, it's time to upgrade your base and put these resources to good use, and this is where the progression kicks in. You start off with a relatively small base and base footprint. The more you play, the more fame you get, and the more you can increase the base footprint at set levels. All base editing is done between missions in an editor mode where you can craft the parts you need if you have the resources, as well as place down the ones you do have. But take care, structural stability does matter here too, with walls and support pillars holding up your base. Staircases also transfer power between floors, so when either your supporting walls or stairs are destroyed by monsters or bosses, then say goodbye to either power or parts of your base as they come crashing down. But to really make your base shine, you're going to need blueprints, and these are hidden throughout the various levels and different difficulty levels. You start off finding simple things like machine gun turrets and ammo makers, but gradually evolve to single barrel cannons, to dual barrel cannons, mortars, sea-whiz systems, artillery, and finally the mega triple barrel cannon that looks like it should be on a battleship. You can build spider tank factories and mech hangars too, along with auto-loaders to put ammo in your guns automatically, which can save you a lot of time. But it's not all offense, as during these matches your base will produce power and building resources over time. You can use these to craft ammo and vehicles during the missions, and both generation and capacity for these resources can be built and expanded in the editor between missions, but not between the levels. For instance, some of the better material or power generators you can deploy are gonna cost you a lot, meaning you will need to reach a certain capacity to afford them, even when unlocked and equipped on your base. Not only that, the resource management continues with weapons too, with each costing you some amount of your power generation, so you can't just spam guns either. You have to be smart about your placement. Now for the player character, you start with a single character that can't die from being killed in a mission. Because yes, permadeath is a thing for characters here. Not only do you lose the character, but their equipment too. So balancing risk and reward is completely in the player's hands here. And boss drops on the final level of each mission can drop character tokens to hire more characters. Each character has a randomized set of skills, and some skills have trees that develop them further. But how far these trees can go is also randomized. Characters can also have negative trees, which can be developed for more points to spend on positive traits, but they also can't be removed. You can get more points by leveling up each character. Each character can be equipped with different gear, with the usual RPG grey, green, blue, purple, orange level of rarity, with the addition of a red level at the very top being the most rarest of equipment. As you go up through the rarity levels, they have more modifiers and bonuses. And while there are not set pieces, there are multiple types of equipment and armor for each slot, which will have different abilities to take advantage of. So you can build out around a specific way of playing. But most important of all is the gun's proto-mag. That's this ball in the middle of the gun. This is the key to making a strong character and one of the most customizable parts of the game outside of building your base. Each proto-mag can have a various number of shooting modes. The default one comes with just 2 and a basic setup of a standard shot with kinetic element, with 1 spare slot for buffs. Through the various rarity levels you will find some up to 4 shooting modes, which can be equipped with different skills, elements and a whole host of buffs. These are applied by inserting proto slags, something you collect through your missions, and depending on which mag you have, you can have a large number of buffs, but for each mode you can only have 1 skill and 1 element type. Each modification you make will change that mode's damage, ammo cost, fire rate, range and elemental build-up. So you can have a huge amount of combinations that you can make here, but you will have to find the different proto slags you need to put them into the weapon. All this builds up to running one of the different endless modes the game has, where enemies will keep getting stronger and stronger with each wave, along with bosses too. But then bosses can also start spawning multiple times in a single wave. To get out alive, you must decide whether or not to call for evac. If you do, it will come after the next wave. Or you can choose not to face 1 or more waves and jump on the evac ship later on to save your character and equipment, as well as any loot you have picked up on that run. And it's these endless runs that seem to be the most fun. Constantly pushing to make the best base you can, then teaming up with 3 other friends and push as far as you can for better loot and more credits. Having the boss taken down at the foot of your base just in time by mortars and sea whiz blasting away is such a good feeling. The panic, the excitement, the suspense of surviving another wave is just so addictive. You just want to keep going further and further. Your inner loot goblin telling you to grab everything in sight, and the relief of finally making out alive pushed me to sink over 100 hours into this current short closed alpha test that the devs have been running. While the game currently has a lot of placeholder assets, as well as being pretty early on with its development, this doesn't change the fact that the gameplay seems, to me at least, to be damn solid and will only get better. And once this test concludes in a few days, the devs will go back to being hard at work to converting the game from its current state within the Unreal 4 engine to the latest and greatest Unreal Engine 5. I've also heard rumours of a possible single player story campaign too, but it's still too early days to say for sure. But there will more than likely be another testing phase in the future, so if you want to be in with a chance to join this, and give feedback and help test for bugs, then you should jump on the game's official Discord. I put a link in the description, along with a link to the game on Steam so you can wishlist it until its release. Now if you enjoyed this, please do subscribe, and a special thanks to my YouTube members and donor box supporters for help keeping this channel going. You too can also join me with the links below, but until next time, Kenator, out.